Blog Talk Radio.
What's up, everybody? It is January the 12th, 2013, and today we are live with the producer out of NY, CR Bundy. What's up?
Hola.
What's happening?
Hola,
how is it over there on your side?
It's a pretty down day. It's looking real nasty outside, but I'm enjoying it. I'm excited about this interview.
All right, let's rock, man. All right, well, I want you to tell us a little bit about, your beginnings, where you started from. So let's just start from where you grew up. Like, what area did you grow up in, and how do you feel that influenced your whole musical style, or did that have any influence on it?
Well, I was born in Queens, New York, but I don't feel like I got my influence from Queens. More so to speak, I was raised in Harlem, where I have an older brother that was into DJing a lot, and he kind of looking up to the older brother and all that, and he just kind of ruined me, as far as the music thing, and him being DJ, doing the music thing, and that's where it's at. That's where I got it from, my big bro.
Okay. Well, go a little bit into that. You said that he was a DJ. So, what type of music were you in? Like, what type of music did he play around you, or what artists did you kind of get stuck on? Not even stuck, but who did you look up to at that time musically, as far as the artists, the producers, production?
Well, at that time, I was a young individual, so it was like I really wasn't knowing who the artist was, so I was just hearing the music, being at the parties, little house parties, watching your brother, trying to get your dance on. There was a lot of reggae going on, at the house parties, how it go. A lot of reggae. The early 90s music, I should say. A lot of early 90s music, Shaba. Not saying that you might,
yeah.
But that's what was playing at the parties. But it wasn't more, say, the artist. It was more my brother that got me into the music. I wasn't really into the actual artist. But just looking up to my brother and doing music, him doing music, led me to want to do music.
Now, when was the first time that you ever, actually got into the studio yourself and started to either get with the production or started, performing? What was the first time that you ever got into the studio? Or do you remember that first time at all?
Yeah, I definitely do. It was probably around, 20 maybe, and which is quite some time ago. I'm kind of ancient. It was around 20, and my brother actually took me to this place, and I seen it, and I walked in, and I was like, wow, it was kind of amazing in here. And you just see all the equipment, you're like, wonder what this do, want to do that. It's just my love that I already had for it, and then just my passion of knowing things, wanting to learn what I'm interested in, and I just took off from there.
Okay. Now, are you a hardware-based producer, or do you particularly use a lot more software-based, or do you do a mixture of the two?
Yeah. Right now I'm teaching myself guitar. I should take lessons, but I'm hard-headed. So, but I'm teaching myself guitar, and I'm definitely using programs. Logic is my drug right now. I'm in love with Logic, and that is my weapon of choice. So, Logic is definitely what I'm going through right now.
Now, do you feel like with you trying to pick up the guitar, a lot of times, do you feel like that you're learning by ear, or just because I know you say you want to take you feel like you should take lessons, but you're hard headed, and we all kind of been there, and sometimes it's easier to do that. Like, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like it's easier for you to just learn by ear, or just sit there and try to learn by somebody else teaching you? What's easiest for you when it came to, even with just producing music as a whole? Which was it easier for you to do when you were trying to learn the Logic and trying to learn any other instrument that you may be using right now?
Honestly, everything I was self-taught. I just took my time. I took my time and just learned the program or whatever it is. So, but the guitar is a little harder than that because, you know, it's a very physical thing. You know, you got to get some fingers to do what some fingers need to do, and sometimes they don't work. You got to get calluses. And so to say, I'm not going to call myself a pretty boy, but I don't like calluses. So I don't want hard hands. So therefore, you know what I mean, that's the war I'm going through right now with me and the guitar.
Okay. But no, I feel you on the calluses, man. I feel you on the calluses. You know, that could really interfere with a lot of the other things that you may have happening in your life. But,
right.
you know.
Right.
So, okay. Now, is the guitar the only other instrument or physical instrument that you may be trying to, you know, look into learning how to play or that you already play?
I mean, well, the keyboard is definitely a vital instrument in production, I feel, you know, because it acts as a controller. So, you know, you got to learn, you got to know basically your chords and, you know, so you got to know the basics of when you're creating music. So the keyboard, I would say, I don't know in hand, you know, I can't sit here and play out a song or do this or do that, but I can get enough. I can do enough to make it sound good.
And that's what matters, because a lot of people know enough and it still don't sound like nothing. So
right,
cool,
right, I agree.
Cool. Now, for you right now, I guess at the place that you are, you know, in your skill and in, like, your experience, what do you feel like it is that you can bring differently, you know, to what's already out here in the music industry? I mean, we got, like, a lot of new cats, a lot of new producers, artists. What do you feel sets you apart or makes you different than them?
I mean, I don't want to sound cliche, but definitely that everything I create is basically what I experienced, is an experience that I have encountered in my life, and that's how I create my music. And maybe a lot of people is felonious. I'm not saying they are, but I don't know where they get the inspiration from, but I can tell you that everything that I create is the truth, which is probably different in itself. A lot of people, you know, may not do that. And my sound is definitely different. My delivery, I feel, is, like, very different. You know, I put a lot of bars or words in a bar, you know what I mean, which it speeds up the song a lot, you know what I mean? Like, my delivery is, I mean, like, if you hear my talking voice and rather than hearing me on a recording track, it's totally different. You know what I mean? I put a lot of emphasis in my music, and I'm influenced a lot by rock and roll music and R&B. So as a hip-hop artist, it might come out different.
Well, what I want to do, since you did bring that up, and I know I have a few more questions after this, but I don't want to ruin it for everybody else that's just now getting to hear what you're about. I do want to play the track that I do have from you and Sue Rose, which is Stun Gun, which is off your debut EP. Just listen.
Yes, ma'am.
And, you know, if you want to tell us a little bit about that track before I play it, you know, about where you got the inspiration and how it came about.
Well, Stun Gun, for me, you know, it's basically like being shocked. By, like, the very short time I've been in, you know, in this music thing, doing this music thing, I realized a lot, and I've been shocked. You know what I mean? So it's like stunned. I'm being stunned. So that's why I got the name. And the concept is basically like you go for everything you think is something one way, and you working hard for it. But when you get to see what's really behind the scenes, and you like, oh, it's like this, then, you know, I don't really want to do that. But at the end of the day, I'm still be me and still do music because I love it. So, you know what I mean? If you just listen, you would get that in that music. Even though, you know, I make my music with a message, but definitely listenable, you know what I mean? I want it to appeal to people. So it may sound like real clubby. It may sound, but if you just listen, then you'll get the point, the real picture.
I'm not going to lie. I had to listen to it twice. To kind of, you know, get the message behind it, because everything isn't always what it appears to be. So like you said, you just got to listen. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and play the track, CR Bundy and Sue Rose Stun Gun.
You're gonna be okay, kid. You're gonna be okay.
My money playing catch up to my ego. My bedroom like a circus, yeah, freak show. My talent navigating through this weed smoke. 99 bottles of beer, only one left, let's go. My money playing catch up to my ego. My bedroom like a circus, yeah, freak show. My talent navigating through this weed smoke. 99 bottles of beer, only one left, early morning, late night. Perfecting these verbs I recite so a nigga get checked like a pair of nights. I hit a beat, I eat it on sight with the force of a dino bite. Stay with a bad chick that blow just like dynamite. She dynamite. My flow is like spawn with a Spartan. Going one-on-one with the 9-6 Jordans, equivalent to a coffin. Career when I die young, I got verbal abortions, and I give them out often, even though it ain't apparent like an orphan. So please proceed with caution. I was made to ball, smaller than my buzz is bugging. That's why these haters trying to spray off. I hit the booth and I burn shit. Adolf, lyrical jab steps create the space to get the J off. Only room for women on my dick, so niggas stay off. My money playing catch up to my ego. My bedroom like a circus, yeah, freak show. My talent navigating through this weed smoke. 99 bottles of beer, only one left, let's go. My money playing catch up to my ego. My bedroom like a circus, yeah, freak show. My talent navigating through this weed smoke. 99 bottles of beer, only one left, let's go.
One left to go, that's my life, I was born with 9. I had to move to Mexico, Illuminati want my soul in mine. New Bugatti with the western shine, stick out in the hood like a porcupine. Chauffeur do witness suicide when I open doors to my ride. These bitches, they screaming out roads, everything glitter and gold. And I know go boy like D-Rose, my niggas, we kick it, yo go. Pinocchio logo, you lie, one group of like 6 Geminis. Told me to sign on a line on top of the pyramid. I like, why can't I just be me? Don't wanna rap with a puppet, speak so publicly. Fuck y'all niggas, I don't need y'all money. Better for fun, cup it the rum, now I'm feeling so numb. Juicy her fruit while I'm chewing her gum. During you over, exploring your roots, restoring recording, so call me the truth, wavy to do.
My money playing catch up to my ego. My bedroom like a circus, yeah, freak show. My talent navigating through this weed smoke. 99 bottles of beer, only one left, let's go. My money playing catch up to my ego. My bedroom like a circus, yeah, freak show. My talent navigating through this weed smoke. 99 bottles of beer, only one left, let's go.
All right. And that was CR Bundy and Sue Rose with Stun Gun. I'm telling you guys, you definitely have to hear that again for yourself so that you can you have to listen. Like, you really have to listen to catch it. I'm telling you, you have to listen. Now, what was the energy like?
You have to listen.
You have
Excuse
to.
me?
You have to. Now, I'm sorry, what was the energy like for you when you were creating that track? Because y'all were kind of hype. Y'all were a little hype in it. Y'all was hype.
Definitely, like, we definitely hype. I mean, Sue Rose is definitely an artist that I look to work with in the future, and he's AKA my favorite artist, period. Very talented individual, very gifted, and I think he has an anointed flow. The energy was great. I mean, it was live in here, you know what I mean? Like, little space, little energy, once I made the beat, it was a wrap from there, and it was like, okay, let's write, and there we go, and we had it, you know what I mean? Just blasting music for 4 hours straight until we got it done, and we was ready to go. It was fun.
Now, where do you feel I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Where do you see your dedication to, take, being in there and the time that you would put in to putting a song down and making sure that it's, it's on point? Where do you feel like your dedication comes from? Because a lot of people, they go in and they say that they finish a track in X amount of time, like short amount of time or whatever, and then it's done. But where do you feel like your dedication comes from? Like, where does that drive come from for you?
I mean, as being I think I feel like being an engineer. You know what I mean? And me not being an engineer, I feel that I'm not an engineer, part of me, makes me want to learn how to be an engineer, you know, and because I love this music stuff, so I want to know everything about it. So therefore, I feel like I have to put the time in. Until it sounds right for me, I won't. It'll take me, if it takes me 3 weeks to a year to make a track sound good, I'll take that time. The dedication comes from just me wanting things to sound how I want it to sound, you know, just painting that picture that I envision in my head, you know, to get it to put it in the sound wave form, you know, and that's the dedication for me.
Okay. Okay, because yeah, not a lot of people have that type of discipline. So I definitely respect that. I do respect that. Now, what's the reception from like your family and your friends for that track? Like, what kind of feedback have you been getting back on it?
I mean, I honestly haven't heard any negative. I haven't heard any negative feedback from it. You know, any feedback is good. Period. Like if you just listen, period. You know what I mean? That's say you taking however long that track is, which I think is like 3 minutes and some change out of your time just to listen. You know what I mean? You give them 3 minutes of your life. For me, I feel grateful. You know what I mean? So if you just listening, I feel humble. But I haven't really got any negative feedback from that as of yet. You know, I never asked somebody if I could, like, if you could explain to me what I'm talking about, because they probably think I'm talking about something totally different than what I'm aiming for. But, you know, whatever reaction I get from it is beautiful to me. But no negative reaction, and a lot of people like it. So hopefully, you know, it's a good look for my first single off my EP.
Awesome. Now, where do you hope to see yourself in about 5 years from now, musically?
Smiling. That's all I have to say. I'm going to be smiling. Whether it's if I feel I'm successful or if I feel I failed, I'm still going to be smiling. Because, you know, I went for it, you know?
Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people don't do that. You're right. You know what, that'll be good because a lot of people do not take the time out to just do what they love or take that chance or take that risk to put it out there and do that.
Definitely.
So I think that's awesome. You do that anyway. You know what I mean? So
those that are scared to be embarrassed are scared to be great. So you definitely need to get rid of that embarrassment and go for it because you never know who may like it or what influence it may hold towards someone. So go for it. Definitely.
Now, when you're not in the studio, when you're not in the studio, you know, or you know, working on music, period, what can we find you? Well, you know what? Let me back up a little bit. What other hobbies or what do you spend a lot of time doing other than music?
I mean, if it ain't music, it's watching the New York Knicks. I'm a basketball fan. You know, I even playing ball myself. You know, like I grew up playing ball and even had dreams of being in the NBA, but didn't happen. So therefore, I just watch it, and I'm a fan of New York. That's one of my passions: music, basketball, you know, and booze. But anyway, it's not good.
Okay. Well, for the ladies that are listening and will listen, you know, I have to ask this question.
I ain't want to talk about the ladies. I ain't want to talk about the ladies. But go ahead. But go ahead.
You knew what I was going to ask, right? You know what I was going to ask?
I knew.
Okay.
Yes,
well,
I did.
Okay. Because you knew already.
I knew.
So you're not going to answer the single or non-single question for them.
Oh, I'm definitely single.
Oh, okay. Okay, because I was asking because I heard you do a little bit of modeling and from what I heard, if I'm not mistaken, you do a little bit of modeling and you're an artist, you model, and you do production. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they're going to want to know in advance, just in case.
Yeah.
So, okay, so.
I've done a little bit of modeling in my past, and I'm kind of convinced. I was convinced probably somewhere in the late 80s that I was kind of cute, so I'm running with it. I'm running with it. Yeah, I was convinced somewhere in the late 80s. that I was kind of cute, so I'm running with it.
See, there you go. They already knew.
Ladies, I am kind of cute. You should look me up on Instagram, you know, at CR Bundy.
Oh, yeah, give me your Instagram.
R-B-U-N-D-Y. Yeah, I'm on Instagram at CR Bundy. Get at me. I follow back.
Y'all heard. You heard, ladies?
Word.
You follow all of them back? You follow all of them back?
Everybody.
Or?
Everybody.
Okay.
I follow everybody back. Okay. Only people I don't follow
That's
back
so
is,
nice
you know.
yeah. Spam or something. That's so nice of you. You follow everybody back.